Okay, so let me just say this right out the gate. Huawei is not playing around anymore. Like at all. And if you have been sleeping on this brand, if you wrote them off a few years ago when things got rocky, I am here today to wake you up because the Huawei Pura 90 Pro is shaping up to be one of the most exciting flagship smartphones of 2026 and honestly one of the most interesting phones I have talked about on this channel in a very long time. We are going deep today on everything we know, from the design to the cameras to the chipset to the battery and all the little details in between that make this phone a genuinely compelling option in a market that is honestly starting to feel a little predictable. And before we go any further, if you are new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button right now and smash that like button because we cover the best in tech every single week and you do not want to miss what is coming. Okay, now let us get into it. So let us start with the design because the moment I saw the official teasers from Huawei, I genuinely had to do a double take. This phone looks different, and I mean that in the best possible way. The Pura 90 Pro features this bold triangular camera module on the back, and it is not just a gimmick, it is actually a statement. The lenses are arranged in almost a pyramid formation with two sensors aligned vertically and a larger central lens sitting right next to them, and there is a small flash unit tucked in near the top. It sounds unusual when you describe it, but when you see it in person or even in those official renders, it just works. It looks premium, it looks intentional, and it looks like Huawei actually sat down and thought about making something that stands out on a shelf next to every other rectangular slab flagship phone out there. And then there are the colors. Oh man, the colors. The Pura 90 Pro is coming in mulberry black, coconut white, orange soda, and pink guava. Those are not just names, those are vibes. And unlike a lot of phones that say gradient and then give you something barely noticeable, Huawei is going full gradient here. We are talking warm orange flowing into deep blue, green fading into pink, yellow into orange. These are the kind of color stories that made the old Huawei P20 and P30 series so iconic back in the day. It feels like Huawei looked at where the market was going with all these matte black and frosted glass finishes and said, no, we are going a different direction, and honestly, I respect it. The frame is flat this time around, which is a big deal. The Pura 80 had a rounded frame, but with the 90 series Huawei has moved to flat edges with a metal frame that has a glossy finish. It gives the phone this sharp, structured, almost industrial look that I think a lot of people are going to love. And the display has also gone flat with the move to a 2.5D OLED panel. No more curved display here. And listen, I know some people love curved screens, but from a pure usability standpoint, flat is just better. Screen protectors actually stick properly. You do not get those accidental edge touches, and the colors pop just as much. The Pro is rocking a 6.87-inch 1.5K LTPO panel with an adaptive refresh rate from 1 Hz all the way up to 120 Hz and peak brightness going up to 8,000 nits. That is insane, by the way. Protected by Kunlun Glass 3.0, which is Huawei's toughest glass yet. This display sounds absolutely gorgeous. Now let us talk about what is under the hood because this is where things get really interesting for the tech heads. The Pura 90 Pro is powered by the brand new Kirin 9030, and this is Huawei's latest in-house silicon. Meanwhile, the Pro Max steps it up to the Kirin 9030 Pro, which uses a 9-core CPU architecture with a main performance core running at 2.75 GHz, a mid-cluster at 2.27 GHz, and efficiency cores at 1.72 GHz. And here is something Huawei is doing that I think is genuinely smart. They are bringing their HyperSpace Memory technology to this lineup. They first introduced this on the Mate 80 Pro Max, and what it basically does is use advanced memory compression to make 12 GB or 16 GB of physical RAM perform more like 20 GB. So your apps stay open, your multitasking is smoother, and you are not constantly waiting for things to reload. That is a real-world benefit that you actually feel every single day. The phone runs on HarmonyOS 6.1, which is Huawei's latest version of their own operating system. And look, I know the whole no Google app situation is a real concern for a lot of people, especially outside of China, and that is a legitimate conversation to have. But within the Huawei ecosystem, HarmonyOS has come a long way. The cross-device integration is solid, the UI is refined, and if you are someone who lives in a Huawei ecosystem already or you are open to making that switch, this software experience is genuinely polished. And hey, quick pause right in the middle here because if you are finding this breakdown useful, go ahead and drop a like on this video. It seriously helps the channel more than you know, and it tells YouTube to push this to more people who love tech. Okay, back to the Pura 90 Pro. Cameras. Let us talk cameras because this is where Huawei has always played to win, and the Pura 90 Pro is absolutely not backing down from that reputation. The main shooter is a 1-inch variable aperture sensor. Yes, variable aperture, which means the camera can physically open and close its aperture like a real camera lens, giving you more light in dark situations and better depth control in bright ones. Paired alongside that is a 200-megapixel periscope telephoto lens. That is not a typo. 200 megapixels on a telephoto sensor. This thing supports continuous optical zoom from 3.5x all the way to 10x with smooth transitions and minimal quality loss. And Huawei says the low-light zoom performance on this lens is going to be something else entirely. This is powered by the second generation of Huawei's proprietary red maple imaging system, which is designed for more accurate color reproduction, better tonal range across all lighting conditions, and just overall more true-to-life images. Huawei has been one of the most consistently impressive brands in mobile photography for years now, even before the DxOMark era, and the Pura 90 Pro looks like it is going to carry that legacy forward in a massive way. I am genuinely excited to see real-world camera samples from this thing because on paper this camera system is competing at the absolute top tier of the market. Now let us round it all out with battery and charging because this is where a lot of flagships drop the ball, but Huawei appears to have gone all in. Both the Pura 90 Pro and Pro Max are expected to pack a 7,000 mAh battery. A 7,000 mAh battery in a slim flagship form factor is just a different level. Most premium phones are still stuck in the 5000 to 5500 range, and Huawei is out here delivering almost 40% more capacity. And you are getting 100-watt wired charging to pair with it plus 50-watt wireless charging. So you charge fast when you need to, and you have so much battery that you probably will not need to charge as often anyway. This combination of a huge battery and fast charging is something that should absolutely be the standard in 2026, and I am glad Huawei is setting that bar. Now I want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is availability. The Pura 90 Pro officially launches in China on April 20th, 2026 with sales beginning on April 22nd. Pre-orders were already open from April 10th. The phone comes in storage configurations of 12 GB with 256 GB, 12 GB with 512 GB, 16 GB with 512 GB, and 16 GB with 1 TB. Yes, 1 TB of internal storage on a smartphone. For power users who shoot a lot of video or just refuse to delete anything, that option is there. As for global availability, Huawei typically launches in China first and then rolls things out to international markets, so global fans may need to wait a bit, but it is absolutely coming. So let me wrap this all up for you because I know we covered a lot today. The Huawei Pura 90 Pro is a phone that is designed from the ground up to make a statement. Bold gradient design with a triangular camera module that turns heads. A massive 6.87-inch flat OLED display with 120Hz adaptive refresh and up to 8,000 nits of brightness. Kirin 9030 chipset with HyperSpace Memory making your RAM punch above its weight class. A camera system headlined by a 1-inch variable aperture main sensor and a 200-megapixel periscope telephoto that is rumored to be a straight-up breakthrough in zoom photography. A 7,000 mAh battery with 100-watt wired and 50-watt wireless charging. And HarmonyOS 6.1 tying it all together. Huawei went big, they went bold, and from everything we are seeing so far they nailed it. Is it perfect? Will it check every single box for every single person? Probably not, especially if you are deep in the Google ecosystem. But if you are someone who loves cameras, loves design, loves battery life, and you are open to something different, the Pura 90 Pro deserves your serious attention. I will be covering the full launch event on April 20th and dropping a deep dive right here on the channel, so make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss that video. And if you enjoyed this one today, hit that like button, leave a comment down below telling me what you think about the Pura 90 Pro, whether you are excited about it or whether you have questions I can answer in the next video. Your comments genuinely shape what I cover next, so keep them coming. Subscribe if you have not already, share this with a friend who loves tech, and I will see you in the next one.